What's one really effective way that you can encounter God today, right now? Well, greetings. This is Jeff Johnson, pastor of St. John's United Church of Christ in Orwigsburg, PA, with my weekly devotion, and it's always great to be with you. What's the first thing you can do, what you do when you get up in the morning? I realize that we're all maybe a little different on answering that question, but many of us, I believe, start the day by turning the TV on. And then with the TV in the background or other noise, we are preparing to leave the house. Some of us go to work and get in our car, or we drive somewhere with the background sounds of music and talk radio. We tend to our business with a backdrop of talking or more noise and of various types. One thing that seems to be missing these days for a lot of people is quiet. Do you have quiet time in your life? If so, how much? I know somebody said to me, I have quiet time when I go to bed. Well, of course, you're probably fast asleep in about a minute. Not exactly what I had in mind. Listen to the following short passages of Scripture. From Psalm 46, verse 10. Be still and know that I am God. Psalm 37, 7. Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for Him. Isaiah 30, verse 15. In quietness and in confidence shall be your strength. My message today is that when we have such busy and sometimes noisy lives, and I include our own thoughts as part of the noise, we don't leave space for God. Now, we can't put it past God to do something big and loud to get our attention, and that will happen sometimes, but so often it's in the stillness that we hear God speak. Listen to this passage from the Old Testament. This is 1 Kings chapter 19, where the prophet Elijah was told to stand on the mountain and wait for the Lord to pass by. Now there was a great wind, so strong that it was splitting mountains and breaking rocks in pieces before the Lord. But the Lord was not in the wind. And after the wind, an earthquake. But the Lord was not in the earthquake. And after the earthquake, a fire. The Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire came a gentle whisper. That's what we call the still small voice of God speaking to you. From my own experience, it's very hard to stay still and silent and to wait for God to speak to me. But if I can hang in there for several minutes, two things happen. One, I start to feel relaxed. It takes time to get there. And secondly, sometimes I can sense the presence of God. But it takes a bit of silent time, more than a few seconds, to get to that point. Try this out in your time of prayer. Say nothing. Just be still, and you just may hear God. I'd like to close with a prayer. Dear God, many of us are lacking in real times of silence, of quiet that can restore our peace and put us before you in a way that normally doesn't happen. So help us to find you in silence. Amen. Well, until we meet again, this is Pastor Jeff, right here in the great out of doors that is somewhat silent, except for all the cars that are driving by. Until we meet again, maybe I'll see you Sunday morning at 10 a.m. We worship at that time at St. John's United Church of Christ in Orwigsburg. Have the best of days today and in the days ahead, and keep looking up.